Hi everyone, we are Natalia and Aldara and we are going to talk about Transmedia narrative of Harry Potter. Well, first of all, we think we must explain what are transmedia strategies. Transmedia strategies are the expansion of the same fiction through different media. All parts keep narrative independence and complete meaning, but despite the fact we can enjoy these contents individually, they are all part of a global story. The characteristics of each platform are used to offer the best possible content. In addition, in many of the strategies, it is sought that users participate either by giving their opinion, uploading related content, etc.
We can find multiple examples of transmedia narratives, but we are going to talk about these four because we find them very interesting. First of all, we have Star Wars, and it's an epic space opera, subgenre of science fiction that emphasizes space warfare, melodramatic adventure, etc. This franchise has a lot of movies in different periods of time, and also counts with different series, live action and animation, and a long list of games. Next, we have Star Trek. This franchise is originating from the 1970s science fiction television series Star Trek. It follows the voyagers of the starship US Enterprise on a mission to explore strange new worlds. The Star Trek franchise comes with movies, television series, comics, animated series, etc. Next, we have Marvel Comics, and it's focused on superheroes and science fiction, and it's a very good example of adaptations in movies and series. Also, they have a lot of games about the different characters. The universe is so big and has different temporal and spatial lines who makes it more interesting. And finally, we have Harry Potter. Harry Potter is another great example of transmedia narratives, and we are going to show next. It creates a very good connection between every element that conforms the Harry Potter universe.
You all probably know about Harry Potter, but in case you have forgotten something, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It all started in 1997, when J.K. Rowling, the author, published the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This book tells the story of Harry Potter and how he's getting into the magical world, how he's getting used to it, and how he's learning about himself. After the success of this book, practically every year a new book was released. The books that we can find in the saga are the following: The Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, The Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, and The Deathly Hallows. All these books tell the story of Harry Potter and his friends, the adventures that they have at Hogwarts, the things that they learn, etc. In 2001, the first movie was released. It was an adaptation of the first book. Subsequently, the adaptations of the books were released in chronological order. Both, movies and books, were so successful that a huge universe was formed around them. So much was the success that different products related to the saga were created that expanded this universe, giving rise to a very consolidated and broad transmedia narrative. Below, we will explain some of the products related to this universe.
The books were adapted in the course of 10 years. The franchise almost came with the same amount of books than films, but the last part of the books were divided into films to make it more extensive and detailed. First of all, the first movie who were published was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, who was published in 2001. Next we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, who were published in 2002. Next we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, who were published in 2004. Next we have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, who were published in 2005. Next we have Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, who were published in 2007. Next we have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, who were published in 2009. And next we have the two last parts, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1, who were published in 2010. And lastly, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2, who were published in 2011. The franchise also comes with two other films, Fantastic Beasts, and a tale story ambientated in the same magic world as Harry Potter, but with new characters, and is planned to have 3 more movies in the future.
There are numerous board games related to the Harry Potter universe. Most of them are versions of classic games with questions or characters adapted to Harry Potter, such as Cluedo or Trivial. In the Cluedo, you have to investigate the disappearance of a Hogwarts student instead of investigating a murderer, but you have to follow the same rules as in the original Cluedo. And in the trivial, you have to follow the same rules as in the original trivial, but instead of having the normal categories, you have other categories such as potions, magical creatures, etc. There are a lot of more classic board games of Harry Potter, such as the Uno, the Scrabble, the chess, and you have to play them with the same rules as the classic games. But we have another type of board games of Harry Potter, such as the original games to the saga. One of them is One Year in Hogwarts, that tells an adventure that begins with our acceptance letter at Hogwarts. The participants are divided into 4 groups that are the 4 houses of Hogwarts, and they have to compete among themselves to find out who wins the cup. And we have Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. In this game, participants have to adopt a role of a character of Harry Potter, and they have to join forces to defeat evil forces that are threatening Hogwarts.
The games of Harry Potter are diverse and pretty extensive, but we have to highlight the novel video games. The gameplay is featured around solving puzzles with some action-oriented scenes. The protagonists learn spells or other techniques from classes within Hogwarts School, which are often used to solve puzzles at hand. The franchise comes with 20 games and is going to be 21 the next year. The first game were published in 2001 at the same time as the first movie. Have different type of games like Lego Creators, the novel video games, Harry Potter, Wizards United, Harry Potter Mysteries, books of potions, books of spells, and this makes them a very good and very diverse company of video games. The different games were adapted to diverse platforms and way of playing, evolving with the time and dynamics of play. The principal platforms where the video games were launched were computer, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Also GameCube, Xbox, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, phones, Xbox 360, Wii, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS.
In addition to the original books, the author has taken out many books related to the magical universe, such as books of magical creatures, traditional tales of the magical world. Some examples are Quidditch Through the Ages, that explains the rules and the history of Quidditch, the most popular sport in the magical world. It appears in one movie as a gift from Hermione to Harry. The Tales of Beedle the Bard, that are short stories and legends that are told to the little ones in the magical world, so they are very popular stories that every wizard and every witch should know. Hogwarts, an incomplete and unreliable guide, is a book that belongs to an online collection that talks about things that inspired the author, things that every wizard and every witch should know about the castle. They have some very detailed explanations of some characters, etc. And then we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This book is used by students at Hogwarts to study fantastic creatures or magical creatures, and is written by Newt Scamander, that is another character of Harry Potter, that explains and describes and analyzes some magical creatures, so every wizard and every witch can learn more about them. All these books have a mission, that is making fans learn more about their favorite universe. As we read these books, we can feel as we were raised in this universe, or as we are another part of this universe.
The webpage used to be called Pottermore, but they changed the name to Wizarding World because they wanted to extend the Harry Potter world by including Fantastic Beasts. In the webpage, we can find the latest news about the franchise, such as people who are incorporated into filming Fantastic Beasts, famous people talking about Harry Potter, information about new merchandising, crafts about Christmas wrapping with Harry Potter themed stamps, etc. Other big element that we can find are quizzes, and in this part you can discover your magic house in Hogwarts, like Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, how your wand would look like, how your Patronus look like, and like your Patronus is a protector enchantment who look like an animal. And you can find other quizzes.
The success of Harry Potter is so much that it even has its own amusement park, totally inspired by that universe. Attractions, food, decoration, all inspired by Harry Potter. Fans can stroll through Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, Diagon Alley, go to Ollivander's and make their own wand, and much more. This park allows a totally immersive experience in this transmedia strategy and allows fans to feel totally included into the magical world.
In this presentation, we wanted to show you how Harry Potter is so well constructed with a solid and complete transmedia narrative and went so famous. Thank you so much for your attention and your time.